Now I want to talk about Earth as friend. It's a fact. Every living thing in the earth is alive. Our native ancestors do it. Even the rocks are alive. They move at a different rate than we do. The trees are alive. What is it? The insects are alive. The frogs are alive. The snakes are alive. The bears are alive. The deer are alive. The raccoons are alive. The flowers are alive. The plants of all types are alive. The dirt itself is full of microscopic organisms as well as worms and things like that and beetles. Every aspect of the earth is alive. So it's there for you to have a friendship, a relationship with. And often it's as simple as just tweaking the way you approach it, the way you think. Okay? Go into nature and think of nature as your friend. Now, one way I've done this in my life, and they might put me in an asylum if they saw me, but I don't really care. No one's going to do anything to me. And that is, I talk to nature all the time. I'll talk to the trees. One thing, simple. I'll thank them for giving me life. I'll thank them for their beauty. I'll thank them for showing me so much beauty that fills me up. But also, I'll ask them questions. If I have a deep question in my mind about my own life, I'll ask trees and plants and water and rocks. And I'll quietly sit and wait for the answer to come through my sixth sense or through feeling or an all-knowing or an all-understanding. That's where you have to have trust and faith. When something comes into you, give it life by acknowledging it and working with it. Or it'll go zoom, zoom, and out. Okay? All the time, all these living things are making advances towards us for friendship. Trees are the greatest example of all. You could have no better friend than a tree. A tree can live as long as you live and longer. You could know a tree from a child, time of a child, and you could grow into being an old person and still have that tree as your friend. There's a great famous book called The Giving Tree. We used to read to our kids all the time in the school. We still do. And that's a lot about that tree. It's continually giving life. It gives us air, it gives us shelter, it gives us food, it gives us beauty, it gives us friendship. So go into nature with the idea of being friends with all the living things. Talk to the earth, talk to the rocks, the plants, and so forth. Look at them and give them blessings, good wishes. Be thankful to them and express your thankfulness through words and screaming and yelling and jumping and dancing and so forth. And just a beautiful look of contentment. All of that will be picked up in nature, and you'll have a friend. Now, is it the same as a human friend? Of course not. But every friendship with humans is not the same either, right? You have some of your best friendships come with your animals, like dogs or cats. That's different than your best human friend. So there's different layers of it. And you don't want to get into the place where you compare. That's a mistake. That cuts what we call the medicine off. And then everything goes quiet. You don't need to compare. A friendship with a tree, a friendship with a dog, a friendship with a human, they're all sacred things. Friendship is sacred. One is not better than the other. They are all different, and they're all beautiful in their own way. And why not have them all? There should be abundance. No end to it. You can have friendship with all of it. Now, a thought that pops into my mind is, let's say you're walking through the woods, and you're wanting to connect with trees, say. Now, there's 1,000 trees in front of you or all around you. They're all your friend to some degree because they're part of the earth. They make the air, they give you shelter, life, etc. Correct? But you want to go deeper. You want to pull one or two out of the hole for a deeper, deeper friendship. That's when you have to pay attention with all your senses. Listen, feel, touch, smell, hear, noise. How these trees will come into you, your sixth sense, feel. So when you look at 1,000 trees in front of you in the woods, one gets brighter. One moves a little bit. One has a shape on the bark or the way the leaves are that calls to you. The color's a little brighter in one. The light hits a certain way. That's the one. Feel it through your inner vision. Maybe a chill down your back answering you that it's okay, that it is happening. Chill down your back, maybe through your shoulders, maybe just an all-knowing. And then go to that tree. This is where people make the mistake, the classic mistake, is this moment happens, they start to get pulled in, and then they just walk off and forget it. You got to give it life. Each moment needs life. So you go to the tree. And as you approach the tree, and this could be for animals, rocks, force, water, glens in the woods, all kinds of things. But as you approach the tree, and you know it's calling to you, stand back first and look at it. Look at it really deeply with wide open eyes. Let your heart come out. Let your feelings be expressed through your body. Let your feelings be expressed through your body. Love, the wanting of a relationship, admiration, respect. These are all things you can let out. Kindness, sweetness, open heart. And you'll start to fuse with that tree. And then you can walk closer and look at it in more detail. Look up, look down. Envision the roots expanding out and touching every other tree for thousands of miles, all one. And here you are sitting on top. Allow your eyes to look in through the bark and think of how all the things this tree does in the world to make giving homes for birds and squirrels and insects and shade and other trees and so forth, and making our air. You start to appreciate it. And then get up and do the classic California thing. Give it a big old hug or give it a touch and absorb it through your body. Pull it in through your fingers and let your legs touch it. Let your stomach touch it. Roll your back on it. I love to scratch my back on trees. It's one of my favorite things, and I know they love it when I'm scratching them. And let that happen. And watch what happens. Climb it. What a thought. Climb a tree. We're meant to climb trees. Look at these arms. Look at these legs. Get up there. Climb a tree and have a heck of a time doing it. Look at the view. Imagine the tree looking at the view in its unique way. No, they don't have eyes like us, but don't tell me they can't see. I know they can. And don't have a need. This is important. Don't have a need to always scientifically, logically have to figure out what's happening and understand it. If something's happening and it's good, just let it go. Let it live. Let it have life. I'm not saying never go deeper in a more logical, scientific way. As you get better at this, you can do that. But in the beginning, it seems to cut it off. But just go with it. And if there's a naysayer in you, a little voice going, well, you might be wrong. You might not be right. You're making this all up. You know what? Tell it to go to sleep. There might be times when you're making something up. So what? You go with it till it becomes real. And you'll know it in your inner vision. You'll know it in your heart. You'll know it in your body. Okay? Trees are my favorite. They're my absolute favorite. But I love everything. Rocks, plants, water, all of it. I really love getting in water and connecting to it and letting it run all over my body and feeling it awaken me in different places on my body. That's an incredible thing. And I love to watch animals with admiration and respect and kind of send myself to them and climb the tree with them and travel with them through the woods and so forth. I've often been able to connect with animals through their tracks, by touching the tracks and becoming the animal as I see how they walked in the tracks. It's endless, the possibilities. There is no end. anything can happen. Anything's possible. It's a great, great joy. And as nature becomes your friend, then as the subject we talked about before, the healing part gets easier because there's a trust there. There's an innate trust. Nature is friend. Nature is friend. Just take it in for a minute. I'll sum up by saying what I said in the beginning. Go into the woods as a person wanting to be or to have friendships with plants, animals, trees, rocks. Have that emanate from you. No distractions, no cell phones, timeline, this and that. And you will have nature as a friend. And it will be a lifelong friendship. And through that friendship, you'll be motivated to do good things to help our earth to be healthy and to heal from what's been happening to it. Thank you for listening. Oh.